Good morning and welcome to KLU's Logistics Day. We co-host together with the Kühne Foundation. Good morning, Dr. Dreger, and the Foundation's Climate Center. My name is Andreas Kaplan and I am KLU's president. When Klaus Michael Kühne laid the foundation for Kühne Logistics University, or as he fondly refers to it, his KLU, the vision was clear: improve the world through cutting-edge research and top-notch education in logistics, operations, and supply chain management. And we all know how huge the potential of logistics is in these areas, given that logistics accounts for approximately 10% of the world's GDP, but more than 10% of the global CO2 emissions. Thus, today's theme, Logistics Reimagined Responsible Transformation in the Age of AI, completely resonates with this vision and KLU's mission. And today's objective is to explore how logistics, coupled with artificial intelligence, digital transformation, and sustainability, can drive crucial changes necessary to navigate this ever-evolving landscape of geopolitics. And there's lots of things going on at the moment, technology and the environment. And in order to give a little outlook of what we're going to discuss today, I thought me as a marketing person, very simple person, not logistics, I'm going to outline the supply chain of a simple item such as is a sweater. And yeah, that's probably what you think somebody coming from the field of marketing anyway isn't great in conveying any complex issues. So good that he sticks to something simple, which I will do. Well, producing a sweater, or thinking about producing a sweater or fashion, many of us probably think immediately of unfair working conditions and non-eco-friendly production. And while it's true, it's not always so straightforward what the best decisions in these areas are, given a variety of cultural and socio-economic realities across the world. Artificial intelligence actually enables transparency, which then helps to identify fields for improvement and forges accountability among stakeholders. And we're going to hear quite a bit about that today. Sticking with production, there is an increase in the call for local production. So should the sweater be produced locally to avoid pollution from shipping it across the planet? And it's definitely true that transportation needs to become cleaner and greener, but you could also argue that production should actually take place where there is an abundance in renewable energies, such as solar power. And the Foundation's Climate Center, I think, or I'm sure, is actually exploring this question currently, and we will probably hear about that also today. So let's immediately transition last mile delivery, transportation. We all have not a lot of time, so let's imagine online shopping. There's an example which I always bring and which I love because it shows the potential of logistics. UPS already 10 years ago invented a navigation system cutting down in left-hand turns on the streets. Right-hand turns less energy consuming than left-hand turns. And by doing this maneuver, they saved themselves and the world millions of liters of gasoline. Great. Now imagine UPS would actually decide to collaborate with other delivery services such as DHL or FedEx. And instead of delivering across an entire city, divide the city into different zones and deliver only within this respective zone, but also the packages for their rivals. That would also cut down in energy consumption. This is a question currently looked at by one of KLU's professors. But it seems that even for simple research purposes only, it's not so easy to find companies who want to collaborate in this adventure. So now let's imagine that I would accept, or the consumer would accept, that the sweater is not delivered to one's doorstep, but that we pick it up at dedicated stations across the city accessible by bike or by foot. Would again decrease energy consumption, and on top of it, it would help to get to my 10K steps per day. So for me, win-win situation. Okay, so with respect to consumption, I'm not even gonna talk about how to reduce the actual buying of new clothing, new sweaters by promoting second-hand shopping or customization of sweaters, thus making them more relevant for their consumers, most likely increasing their life cycle in one's wardrobe. These would all be questions for marketing. Going back to logistics and recycling. And today we're going to hear about recycling. We're going to hear about reusable packaging and its challenges. Plenty of opportunities too, but plenty of challenges. And it's true that per second, 21, 22, per second, there's one entire garbage truck full of wasted, thrown away clothes produced in the world. 1 second, one garbage truck full of thrown away clothes. But it's actually not only about environmental concerns, it's also about sustainability providing lots of financial opportunities. And we're also going to hear about that today in one of the sessions, how to finance this entire transition and the financial opportunities behind sustainability. And sticking to fashion, textiles, sweaters, there is approximately 500 billion euros annually lost due to textile underutilization and inadequate recycling. And it's actually quite shocking, or I thought it was quite shocking, that not even 1/4 of textiles and fashion or apparel is recycled within the Western world. So, me having talked so much about sweaters and also slowly but surely coming to an end of this brief introduction, I absolutely wanted to mention, but I also have to mention I'm really not the epitome in a sustainable lifestyle, but I wanted to mention that the sweater I'm wearing now is not only incredibly colorful, and you all, I know you all thought, what is he wearing? Yeah. So not only incredibly colorful, but also in my possession since 2017. I bought it at a fantastic second-hand store in Rome, close to Piazza Navona. I can refine the address if you're interested. Well, I thought, me as a marketing guy, I'm gonna use this occasion to promote a little bit second-hand shopping. On top, the colors fit the cubes. But anyway, before I'm getting carried away with fashion and clothes and sweaters, and believe me, I absolutely wanted to thank Rupert Zeute and Sarah Pansegrau. They are the main persons behind the organization of this event. Thank you very much to all the upcoming speakers. Thank you for having agreed to be with us today. Thank you to the dedicated teams behind the scenes. Thank you to the Kühne Foundation for having given us the opportunity to co-host this event with them. So now let's get inspired. Let's develop plenty of ideas of how we all can contribute in this transformative journey, transformative but absolutely necessary. During the duration of my speech, we, the world, probably produced another hundreds of garbage trucks full of thrown away clothes. I'm actually afraid we went over 1,000 garbage trucks full of thrown away clothes. So imagine this. 1,000 garbage trucks. And with this image in your heads, I'm happy and honored to hand over to our first keynote speaker, Professor Stephanie Rinderlemar. Enjoy the conference.